All right, today we're going to look at slope stories. So we're going to determine the slope on a graph, whether the graph is increasing, decreasing, staying constant, any of that, based on a story or a situation about the graph. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so that y'all can see these as I'm talking about them. So we're going to talk through these first three together. So we have a graph that increases and then decreases. Graph B increases and then stays constant. And graph C increases, stays constant, and then increases again. So number one says Malik begins his ride slowly, but then stops to talk with some friends on jet skis. After a few minutes, he continues his ride, gradually increasing his speed. So on this one, Malik is going to be riding. He's going to stop for a little bit and then continue to ride again. So if we're just looking at all of these graphs, this C is the one that he's going to be riding his jet ski. He's going to stop. His speed stays constant because he's just sitting there. And then he's going to take off and ride again. So number one is C. You'll click on this question mark and you'll type the letter C there. And all you have to do is highlight it and it'll type for you. 2 says Sierra steadily increases her speed through most of her ride. After about 10 minutes, she slows down to turn around and returns to the boat dock. So she's going to increase, and then she slows down and turns around back to where she was. So that would come from graph A. She's increasing while she's riding, and then she slows down to turn around and come back. 3, Jake steadily increases his speed for the first part of his ride. He then keeps a constant speed as he continues his ride. So he's going to increase, and then he's going to have a constant speed as he continues his bike ride. So number 3 would be B. So 1 was C, 2 was A, 3 was B. As we scroll down, you're going to use your tools to create your graphs for problems 4, 5, and 6. So on some of these, you're going to be given graphs and scenarios, and you just match them. For problems like 4, 5, and 6, you're given the scenario, and we're going to draw it. So 4 says a car is moving at a constant speed and then gradually stops. So you'll use your tools. So it's going to gradually, it's moving at a constant speed. A constant speed is going to take us up. And it's going to gradually slow down. So to slow down and stop, you've got to go all the way down because you can't just stop instantly. So at a constant speed is going to show an increase and then a decrease. I'll go ahead and erase that, or it'll be there for your answers. All right, I'll let you try number 5. And then we're going to do number 6 together. 6 says Maggie leaves home and goes to the mall. She stays at the mall to do a little Christmas shopping and then leaves to go to dinner with her friends, which is even farther away from her house. So if she's starting at home, that starts at 0, 0. She's going to leave home. Now she's at the mall and she's going to stay there to do some Christmas shopping. So since it's talking about how far she is from home, that's not going to change. She's still going to stay at the mall. After she goes shopping, she leaves the mall to go farther away to go eat dinner. So when we finally leave the mall, our distance away from home is going to increase so that we can go to that restaurant with our friends. Now, as we scroll through here, you'll see on different slides, like, let me zoom this one out a little bit for you. You're going to analyze where it's increasing and decreasing or linear or nonlinear. So between 0 and 2, what's happening? Is that increasing or decreasing? And then between 2 and 6, what is happening? Increasing or decreasing? Let's look at this one together. Let's scroll up just a second so you can see all of the graphs. And you'll notice that some of these graphs are linear, some of these graphs are nonlinear, and some of these graphs give a constant rate. So 1 says an object moving at a constant speed is moving away at a constant speed. That means the distance is going to get larger. a constant speed is going to be a linear function. So to make our distance get farther away, it's going to go up. It's going to increase. So 1 would be A. 2, an object is moving closer at a constant speed. So if it's getting closer to you, that's going to have a negative slope based on the distance. It's moving closer to you, so number 2 would be B. 3 says an object is moving and increasing the speed. So an object that is moving and increasing the speed would be D, because if you notice, your distance and all, it goes farther and farther up. E would not be increasing because it starts to dwindle off at the end. 4 says an object is at rest and it's not changing. If it's at rest and not changing, its distance is steady. It's staying in the same place. That would be C. 5, an object moving away and decreasing the speed. If it's getting farther away, that is E. Your distance is increasing. So then what you'll do on the next slide is you're going to match the graph to the description. And then again on the next slide, you are going to be pretty much doing the same thing. And where it's blue is where you'll type and you'll highlight to type your answer there. So you get to get creative on some of these. So like on 4 and 5 on slide 6, it says to write the story for what's happening. You get to decide what is happening on this graph. Just type out a couple sentences. You don't have to make it huge, but get as creative as you would like. On slides like 7 and 8, you get to take the descriptions that you're given and take all of our lines down here and drag and drop them onto this graph for what happens with Adam as he's leaving his friend Brody's house, and Ashley as she's left her house to go on a steady jog. You get to use the lines and create those graphs at the bottom. And then the last slide is telling you that the graph shows Timothy's distance from his house as he walks to school. And all you're going to do for A, B, and C is tell me what's happening while A is increasing. What's happening while B is constant? What's happening while C is increasing again? Just type a very brief description. 1 sentence is plenty for me right there. Get creative, make it your own, and remember, if you need any help, I will be on Zoom, or you may send me an email because I want you to do well with this.